then people were accessible. You could phone somebody up and their number appeared in the paper. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, you know, your call is unimportant to us, you know. And you could do it. And I was working there. I was 17, 18, and basically I had a job for about 2 jobs in a year and a half, and I was bored. But I was doing kind of local band things. And I saw an advert saying that the John Barry 7, that Vic Flick was leaving the John Barry 7. And in my naive mind, I thought, oh, well, they want another guitar, they'll book me then, won't they? You know, it's just like, it's so dumb, really. And so I went back and I bought the John Barry album, you know, with James Bond and stuff on, and I learnt the tunes. And keeping in mind, of course, the fact that actually about 10 years after that, I woke up in a cold sweat one night thinking that, how did I ever assume that a dance set would be in the right key? That, you know, it could be a semitone sharp or flat and I could have learnt them all in the wrong key. But anyway, you don't, do you? Luckily. So I phoned this number, which was a tenor player called Bob Downs, who was organising it. And I just said, look, I don't know what I said. I said, I can do this. You know. He said, oh, come along. We've got an audition at the Aeolian Hall. And I arrived there, and with my guitar and a little amp, and they couldn't get in. It was locked up. So he actually climbed over the ticket, you know, placed a little booth there, and plugged me in. And the audition was me with a guitar and amp. And he put all the music up in front of me, and I had no idea what it was. It could have been anything, music. I didn't, you know. So he put it up, and of course I couldn't read it, but of course I did know the title, and I did think, well, I assumed the arrangement was the same. So I played the things, and he phoned John Barry while I was there, which he got, you know, made this call, going through the booth. You know, we're not talking mobiles here, are we? Pulled the thing. It was like, you know, he was basically breaking into the ticket office, and he phoned him up and said, John, this guy's good. He can do the. So I remember he said exactly, hey, this guy's good. It's always amused me, and that was it. I got the gig. Mainly one night stands, universities, some theatres. We stayed in these incredible kind of doss house places that were, you know, I took this all as a norm, by the way, at the time, so I didn't know any different. But I remember turning up with a cafe on the A1, and it had about 80 beds in, like camp beds, and we stayed there. You know, I don't know, and obviously I didn't sleep very well. And then we used to go around in this van, and I remember the roadie's name was Alf. I can't remember his second name, but he was a nice guy. And he got the needle one day. He was in a bad mood, and it was about 7 in the morning, and we driven back. And he actually dropped me off on my guitar and amp at Camden Town and said, "You have to get a train the rest of the way. I don't want to drive to Manor House, which is like 3 miles down the road." So that was, didn't like that. But then he realised that he'd made a mistake. You know, he got told off. I was the last one to be dropped off. So he took me to go and see Johnny Kidd and the Pirates rehearsing in a prefab in the Old Kent Road. And I promise you, I'm not on acid or anything. It's true. I can't believe that I saw that. And they were rehearsing at I think it was the. I don't know what Johnny Kidd's real name is, but it was. Everyone called him John anyway. But it was his like parents' prefab.